It's more than just a car. I kind of think of it as a symbol of the strength and the courage and the wisdom that my father stood for. My father's name was Keith Richard Latavsky. He was very close with his brother, my uncle. They were those kind of guys wrenching on cars and stuff like that, little garage junkies, for lack of a better term. And I believe he was 18 or 19 when he got drafted, going to Vietnam. And he went through a lot there, you know, a lot of firefights that he went through. I mean, he did say, he goes, the jungle was so thick there that you could be 10 feet away from somebody and you wouldn't even see him. So, from some extent, it was good that they dropped the Agent Orange to kill the stuff. In hindsight, not so good. The next day, they're walking through a jungle that's completely dead, and there was a very large firefight, and it was not good. A lot of guys perished, and his commanding officer was also shot, and he literally picked him up and carried him out to get out of the firefight situation. His officer was put on a helicopter. The helicopter was either shot down or crashed, and that was one of the things that he really struggled with a lot. Fortunate for us that he came out of there a survivor. For him, he had a lot of regrets that someone else didn't come home in his place instead of him. When he was in Vietnam, he was actually sending money back to his family in Lyle to save for this car. The car was always kept in a garage, and it was always covered. And when he parked it, he would put jacks under each corner, a little piece of carpet, and he would jack the car up to take the weight off the tires and the springs and the shocks. So it was stored like that, and he would cover it up with the softest bed sheets he could find. And he never drove it in the rain or the snow, never parked out in the sun. It was just garage kept its whole life. It was never washed down with a hose or anything like that. And I remember as a kid, him wiping it with like a soft, wet cloth, and I came back with the best chamois we could find to just take the little beads of water off, and I thought, am I really, what are we doing here, Dad? This is clean. We're cleaning a clean car. Why are we doing this, you know? But he took care of it like it was his 6th child. It's very original. It has the 427, 435 horse, off-road exhaust, bright blue interior, marina blue with the black stinger. It also has the red line tires, AM/FM stereo. For some reason he wanted power windows. It's got a little over 8,500 miles on it. It was documented. He has these little books that he kept in the glove box, and every time he started it up, he'd log down the date, what he did, how many miles he drove it, exactly. You know, I still have the original tires, it's the original paint, the original interior, original motor, all the stickers and all that stuff. It's just like when it rolled off the showroom floor. He started to really get sick pretty badly. I mean, he was struggling right after he got out of Vietnam, and it was on and off through our whole childhood. He was up and down with different cancer and chemotherapy and radiation, and he did not want to be in the hospital, and he knew he didn't want to die in a hospital. He wanted to rather die at home. And so I stayed there with my mother, and me and my father got really close. It was tough to watch this happen to someone you love so dearly. I think he saw that I would hang on to the car for a long time. He had it for 26 years. I've had it now for about 24 years. So I guess he was right in foresight. I've enjoyed having it. I just hope and pray that if someone decides to purchase the car, that they'll love it and respect it as much as my father did. and as I have in the last 24 years. For me, it'll be a release of something that I think will be better, but kind of turning the page to another chapter in my life, and I'll see my dad again someday.